What if I told you that your future is being shaped right now? Not by your goals, not by your dreams, not even by your motivation, but by your environment. The room you sit in, the people you spend time with, the content you consume, the conversations you tolerate, the habits that surround you every day. Most people believe success is about willpower. But what if success is actually about design? Think about it. Why do some people seem naturally disciplined? Why do some environments make you productive while others make you distracted? Why can one group of friends inspire growth while another keeps you stuck for years? The answer is simple. Your environment is constantly influencing who you become, whether you realize it or not. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful truths in personal development. Your environment is either pulling you toward your future or pulling you away from it. Drawing lessons from books like Atomic Habits, The Power of Habit, Mindset, The Compound Effect, Deep Work, we are going to uncover how your surroundings quietly shape your identity, decisions, habits, and ultimately your destiny. You are adapting more than you think. Human beings are adaptation machines. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping you every single day. The words you speak, the standards you accept, the goals you chase, the beliefs you hold. Most of these influences don't arrive with an announcement. They quietly become part of who you are. Think about it. If everyone around you constantly complains, complaining starts to feel normal. If you're surrounded by people who push themselves, learn, and grow, growth starts to feel normal. If your environment rewards distraction, focus becomes a struggle. If it rewards discipline, discipline becomes a habit. That's the hidden power of environment. It doesn't force you to change overnight. It shapes you gradually, one day at a time. And because the change is so subtle, most people underestimate it. They say, my surroundings don't affect me, but they do. Every conversation, every habit, every influence, quietly, consistently, powerfully. Because over time, what surrounds you doesn't just influence your life, it becomes your life. The invisible power of habits. In Atomic Habits, James Clear makes a powerful observation. People often try to change their habits without changing their environment. And that's like trying to stop a river with your hands. Environment drives behavior. Imagine trying to eat healthier while your kitchen is filled with junk food, or trying to focus while notifications constantly interrupt you, or trying to read more while your phone is always within reach. Willpower eventually gets tired. Environment never does. The most disciplined people aren't always stronger. They've simply built environments that make success easier. Instead of relying on motivation, they rely on systems, and systems beat motivation almost every time. Because motivation changes daily, but a well-designed environment works even when you don't feel inspired. Your friends influence your future. One of the most powerful forces shaping your future isn't your talent, education, or even your goals. It's the people you spend the most time with. Your social circle influences your confidence, your standards, your mindset, and ultimately, the life you create. This isn't about judging people based on money or status. It's about understanding influence. Because influence is contagious. Spend enough time around negativity, and negativity starts to sound like wisdom. Spend enough time around people who complain, and excuses begin to feel justified. But spend enough time around ambitious, growth-minded people, and suddenly, bigger goals feel possible. Take a moment and think about your daily conversations. Are they filled with gossip, drama, and complaints? Or ideas, opportunities, and solutions? Because conversations are never just conversations. They shape beliefs. Beliefs shape decisions. Decisions shape your future. The people around you may not determine your destiny, but they strongly influence the direction you're walking. Choose your circle carefully because every conversation is quietly building the person you're becoming. Your digital environment matters too. Today, environment extends far beyond physical spaces. Your phone is an environment. Your social media feed is an environment. Your YouTube recommendations are an environment. Your news consumption is an environment. Every piece of content influences your attention, and attention shapes your life. In deep work, Cal Newport argues that focus is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. But modern digital environments are designed to capture attention, not protect it. Ask yourself, what content are you consuming every day? Is it helping you grow or simply helping you escape? Because every hour spent consuming something is also an hour spent becoming something. You're either feeding your future or feeding distraction, and eventually both produce results. The room you live in affects the mind you live with. Take a look around the room you're in right now. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is influencing your thoughts, habits, and energy every single day. A cluttered space often creates a cluttered mind. Chaos on the outside can become stress on the inside, but an intentional environment can create focus, clarity, and momentum. This isn't about having a perfect home. It's about creating a space that supports the person you're trying to become. A clean desk, a dedicated workspace, a bookshelf within reach, a gym bag packed the night before. These may seem like small details, but small details shape daily decisions. Every environment is sending you a message. Some spaces whisper, relax, drift, delay. Others challenge you, focus, create, grow. The question isn't whether your environment is influencing you. It already is. The real question is your environment helping you become the person you want to be, or keeping you stuck where you are? In Mindset, Carol Dweck explains how beliefs about growth influence achievement. But where do those beliefs come from? Often from our environment. If you're constantly surrounded by people who fear failure, you'll begin fearing failure too. If you're surrounded by people who see challenges as opportunities, you'll begin viewing challenges differently. Environment shapes perspective. Perspective shapes behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. This is why some people transform dramatically when they change environments. Not because they suddenly become different, because they finally entered a place where growth became possible. Sometimes the environment was the obstacle all along. Most people underestimate the power of small changes because they don't see immediate results. In The Compound Effect, Darren Hardy teaches a powerful lesson. Small decisions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary outcomes over time. Your environment works the same way. One inspiring book, one growth-minded friend, one healthier habit, one organized workspace, one less distraction competing for your attention. On their own, these changes seem insignificant, but that's exactly why they're powerful. Because while most people wait for a life-changing breakthrough, transformation is quietly happening in the background. Small improvements become better habits. Better habits become a stronger identity. And a stronger identity creates a better future. The truth is, your life rarely changes overnight. It changes through tiny influences, repeated daily, that compound into results far bigger than you ever imagined. Imagine your future self visiting your current environment. What would they notice? Would they see distractions everywhere or opportunities everywhere? Would they see evidence of growth or evidence of stagnation? Here's a simple challenge. Audit your environment. Look at your friends, your routines, your workspace, your phone, your content consumption, your conversations. Then ask, is this environment helping me become who I want? Because if the answer is no, you don't necessarily need a new goal. You may need a new environment, and that change can transform everything. Your future isn't created by occasional moments of motivation. It's created by repeated exposure, repeated habits, repeated conversations, repeated environments. Remember, you become what you repeatedly experience, so choose your environment carefully. Because every room you enter, every person you listen to, every piece of content you consume is helping shape the person you'll become tomorrow.